This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. Hello, students. In the last class, we have discussed about nested queries. In that nested queries, I have shown you how nested query is going to be evaluated from inner to outer. Now, here I am going to discuss some more concepts of nested queries, where I would like to discuss a concept called set comparison operators. Set comparison operators. So what is set comparison operator? Here, in is called set comparison operator, that already we discussed. Why? Because in is going to compare the value of e number here is to be compared with set of values, maybe one value or more than one value possible in the inner query. There are two other set comparison operators. Those are called operator any and operator all. Operator any and one more is operator all. This operator is called any any relational operator, like less than, greater than, less than or equal, greater than or equal, so like this. Any relational operator to compare a value with set of values, we will be using these two set comparison operators in addition to that in operator that already we have discussed. Now look at what is any. What is any operator? It compares a value with set of values and returns true if the given condition satisfied for if the given condition satisfied for at least one value. If the given condition satisfied for at least one value, if it is satisfied for at least one value, then it is going to return true, otherwise it is going to return false. Let me explain. Suppose I have a condition x. X is an attribute. This x is to be compared with less than condition with operator is any of 5, 10, 15 assume. So what is meaning this x less than of any of this means the value of x should be less than any one of these values. It means x is less than 5 or x is less than 10 or x is less than 15. Okay, so means because it is this condition to be true for at least one of these values. At least one of these values means the condition between each comparison should be or operator. Why? Because it should be true for at least one value. And there is one more is called operator all. One more is called operator all. Operator all. Here you can write the same definition. It compares a value with set of values and returns true if the given condition satisfied for, previously we have written at least one. Now what all required should be true for all values. If the given condition satisfied for all values in the set. If it is true for all values in the set, then it is going to be selected, right? So means if x is less than, suppose I'm putting the condition is less than all of 5, 10 and 50. So what is meaning this? X should be less than 5 and because it should be true for all values now, x should be less than 10 and x should be less than 15 also. Then we can say the value of x is less than all values in the set. So what is the meaning? Any required condition to be true for at least one value. All requires the condition to be true for all values in the set. Okay. Now here we'll take one example. For writing that example, I would like to copy this table. So I would like to copy this table. On this table, I will show you. Okay, this is a table, right? I hope this table is visible to you. Is it visible? Okay. Now, suppose if I have a question. Find name of the employees. Find name of the employees whose salary is better than some employees of whose salary is better than some employees of some employees of whose salary is better than some employees of IT department. Now, what are the IT department employee salaries? 35,000 and 50,000. And other department employees, here Teja is 60,000 greater than all, and Akhil is also greater than all, 90 is also greater than all. Okay, one thing I will do, just I would like to update the salary of Akhil to 40,000. Just we'll check it out. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Say I wanted to update, update. How to write the update query? Update employee set salary equals 40,000. Set salary equal 40,000, where here I would like to update which salary. I would like to update Akhil salary. I would like to update it. Where what is an Akhil employee number 1? Where E number equal 1. Just click on run. It is going to get updated. So invalid SQL query, update spell mistakes. What happens today? Here I'm doing some spell mistakes. Very good, Surendra. Very good, very good. So it is appreciable because you are observing. Okay, 0 rows updated. E number equal to 1. Sorry, E number is 9. Na? E number is 6. Okay, Akhil employee number is 6. So it is updated to employee number 6. Click on run. So here I got 1 row updated message. Now display the table. Select star from employee. Click on this. Now Akhil salary is updated to salary 40,000. Okay. This table I would like to copy here. Copy. Just so that I can explain you. Yeah, here you look, updated salary. Now look, now according to this table, employee table, you tell me which record is going to be in the final output. Which record should be in the output? Find name of the employees whose salary is better than some employees of IT department. Who are the IT department employees? These are the two IT department employees. And what were the salaries? 35,000 and 50,000. Now I wanted employees whose salary is better than some employees of IT department. Now Priya is EC department, 90,000. It is better than every employee of IT department. Now Teja is CSC department, whose salary is 60,000 greater than 35,000 greater than 50,000. True. And Akhil, whose salary is 40,000 and better than some employee 35,000, but not better than Karthi. But Akhil's salary is better than some employees called Narendra. So Narendra also in the output. Sorry, Akhil also in the output. Suppose if I have some more employee, say employee number 7, XYZ employee, and whose salary is 25,000. Here salary of this is of mechanical department. Then what is the salary of this employee? 25,000. Now 25,000 is greater than 35,000? No. Greater than 50,000? No. It means XYZ is an employee of mechanical department whose salary is not better than some employees of department IT. So this should not be selected. So how did you write this query? Means you have to compare every employee other than IT department is to be compared, his salary is to be compared with salaries of other departments. Means inner query should find what inner query should find? The inner query should find the salaries from employee table. This which salaries we required? Whose department should be equals to what? IT department. Why? Because I have to compare the salary of other departments with salaries of IT department employees. Now what I wanted employee names from employee table. What will be the conditions I wanted to find? Because when I'm comparing the salary of employee with salary of IT department, means IT department employees cannot be compared with IT departments. Means I need to compare with employees of other departments. So where what condition we can write here? Let me write where department not equal to IT. So means I have to check with other than IT department employees, and the salary of that non-IT department employee should be better than, means greater than, some employees of IT department. So some we can call any, it is correct. Now what is the query is going to find the output? Now query, it is going to find the output of inner query. Select salary from employee where department equal to IT. Now IT department employee salaries is 35,000 comma 50,000. These are in the output. Okay, these two values in the output, 35 and 50. Now two values. Now what is the outer query? Select e-name from employee where department not equal to IT. Here this is true. And what is the salary? 90,000. That 90,000 is greater than any of these values, at least one of these value. 90,000 is greater than 35,000 or 90,000 is greater than 50,000. It is true for both. So means it is going to give the output e-name, that is Priya. Now Priya salary is greater than some employees of IT department. Now next is the department not equal to IT. This condition is false. This condition is also false. It is not equal to IT, true, and salary 60,000 greater than 35, true, greater than 50, true. So that Karthik also in the output. So you can see Karthik in the output. And one more is here, not department not IT, yes, and 40,000 is greater than 35,000, true, but 50,000 false. But what any requires to be true with at least one value. So Akhil also in the output. And last XYZ employee whose salary is 25,000 greater than 35,000 false. greater than 50,000 false, so that XYZ will not be in the output. So this is a output of the query, right? Now, so if you wanted to see execution of this query, you can see in the Oracle. Just have a look of the query execution in the Oracle. Now look at what is required to write select ename in the output. It is from which table? It is from employee table, where now what is to be verified? Select ename from employee, where what conditions to be verified? That employee table employee salary should be greater than some employees, and it should be compared with other than IT department. So one condition we have to write, department not equal to IT department not equal to IT, right? And what is another condition for practicing? What is Teja? Can you suggest me any online compiler, sir, for practicing? In Hackathon, HackerRank, there are online compilers are there, CodeChef and all. You can go ahead with that. Otherwise, just you can give a message. I will share this Oracle software with you. You can practice it. Okay. Now, and what is another condition? Another condition is salary condition. The salary of that employee should be better than, means greater than, some of the employees of IT departments, means any. So in the inner query, what is to write? In the inner query, it requires to select salaries from which table? Employee table, employee, where department name department equal to IT department equal to IT. Select it and execute it. So what you are supposed to get the output, Priya, Teja and Akhil should be in the output. Just click on run. Okay, no data found. Why no data found? Okay, is IT is capital IT is given. Okay, let me check. Capital IT. Okay, it should be capital IT. Akhil, very good, very good. Just let me check. Select and click on run. Now I'm getting Priya, Teja and Akhil. Okay, now could you please tell me if I wanted to write the similar question, but instead of sum, if I write find name of the employees whose salary is better than, instead of sum, if I write all employees of IT department. If I say all employees of IT department, what you have to do, you have to change this any with all. That any is to be replaced with all. If any replaced with all, what output you are going to expect? Can you tell me? Now Priya salary is 90,000, greater than 3550, true. So Priya should be in the output. And this Teja salary is 60,000, greater than 35 and 50, true. So that Karthik also in the output. And last, Akhil salary 40,000, greater than 35, true, but greater than 50, false. So can you expect Akhil in the output? No. But Akhil is possible if you use any. Akhil is not possible if you use all. So that what could be the output of this query, Priya and Karthik? Just check it out. Check it out in the query language also. What is going to output if I replace this any with all? If I replace any with all, what you are going to get? Priya and Akhil, right? So Priya and Akhil are Teja. Okay, Priya and Karthik. Priya and, sorry, not Teja. It is Karthik, right? Okay. Sorry, it is not Karthik. It is Teja. Sorry. It is Teja. Okay. So here also you can check it out. It is not Karthik actually. Here the record is Teja. Sorry, the record is Teja. I wrote wrongly. So Priya and Teja should be in the output. Just check it out. Just check it out. What is going to return? Click on run. Priya and Teja should be in the output. Akhil should not be in the output, right? Akhil is not there. So means what any requires the condition to be true for at least one value. All requires the condition to be true for all values in the set. Okay. This is about two set comparison operators, any and all, where it is comparing a value with set of values. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. If no doubt, I will continue with one more topic. Any doubts? Any doubts? Hello. Okay. If no doubt, happy. Chalo. Here, I would like to explain one more concept. Here, look at. One minute. Look at. Yeah. Here, this is employee table. Suppose in this employee table, if I wanted to find name of the employee with the highest salary, name of the employee with highest salary. How did you write name of the employee with highest salary? How did you write a query to find name of the employee with highest salary? How did you write? Select. First, we have to find what is the maximum salary. Highest salary means maximum salary. Select max of salary. So what actually the query, you find name of the employee with highest salary means maximum salary. First I wanted to find, now in the given table, what is the maximum salary? 90,000. What is the maximum salary? 90,000. Now I wanted to find name of the employee with maximum salary, right? Now name of the employee with maximum salary. Now what you can write? You can write select ename from employee where salary equaled 90,000. Now salary equal 90,000 is true for Priya, so that it is going to output Priya in the output. It is going to output Priya. And for the remaining 35 equal to 90 false, 50 equal 90 false, 60 equal 90 false, 40 equal 90 false. So that what output it is going to give? The output it is going to give is ename, and that ename is called Priya. This is how we can write a query to find name of the employee with highest salary. Look at, I will show you the same in the form of a query. What inner query requires? Inner query requires to find maximum salary, right? Inner query requires to find the maximum salary. So what you can write? Select max of salary, so that it is going to find the maximum salary of the employee tables, right? It is going to find maximum salary. Now what is outer query should find? Outer query should find the name of the employee whose salary should be equals to that salary. Whose salary? So means here where we can write where salary equals to the output of the inner query. The output of the inner query is the maximum salary. Now who is the maximum salary taking employee? Priya is the maximum salary taking employee. Click on run. Now I'm getting Priya in the output. Now I'm asking you. I'm asking you to write find name of the employee with the second highest salary. With the second highest salary. Look at, this is a table. Now what is the highest salary? Highest salary is 90,000. What is the second highest salary? 60,000. So that name of the employee Teja should be in the output. So Teja should be in the output. Now you tell me how to write a query, to find name of the employee with the salary. Here I am writing find name of the employee with second highest salary. This is a question. Find name of the employee with second highest salary. That is a question. Please find name of the employee with second highest salary. Could you, any one of you, please respond to me? And Surendra, you have written where max of salary, and I gave you one point. You cannot write aggregate functions in the where class, so that query is going to return error. Look at what Surendra written is where salary equaled max of salary. Surendra written where salary equaled max of salary. But this query is going to return error. Why? Because as in the previous sessions I discussed, when I'm discussing the aggregate functions cannot be used in the where class. If I click on run, I'm getting an error. Group function is not allowed here. Max of salary is a group function. It is not allowed. That's why we have to write a subquery. What do we have to write? A subquery. That's why I wrote that max of salary is selected in the subquery. So select max of salary from employee. Is it okay, Surendra? No. Right. This one. So you can write, you can get the salary, maximum salary employee. And what Surendra given now is select e-name from employee where salary not equal, select min of salary from employee. If you write not equal to minimum salary means except minimum salary, remaining all are going to be displayed, Surendra. If you write not equal to minimum salary means last salary is eliminated, remaining all salary is going to be selected now. So that is not going to be correct answer. Surendra, that is not the correct query you have written. Can anyone write minus select of max salary? What is minus, Akhil? So minus is set manipulation operator. Okay, that won't applicable here. Anyone answers this one? Okay, nobody. Look at here, this is finding the maximum. This query is finding the maximum. Now what I wanted, second maximum, second highest means second maximum. Second maximum means you have to find maximum from the remaining tuples. Means you have to exclude this 90,000s, and in the remaining you have to find the maximum. In the remaining, if I find the maximum, I'm going to get 60,000s. So maximum from the remaining we call second maximum. How did you find this? You have to select maximum salary. Select max of salary one more time from employee where the salary should be less than maximum salary. Because if I write salary less than maximum salary means here in the inner query first it is finding 90,000s now. The second time what it is going to find first, it is going to select those tuples whose salary is less than 90,000s. Whose salary less than 90,000 means this is not selected, remaining all are selected. In the remaining all, what is the maximum? 60,000s. So that what the second query is finding? Second query is finding maximum from the remaining queries. The second one is finding maximum from the remaining. Because second is finding maximum from the remaining. Now, this 60,000 is called the second maximum. Now I want to find the name of the employee whose salary is 60,000. So what you can write, select ename from employee where salary equal 60,000. Salary equal 60,000 is there for Teja, so that instead of now I'm going to get the output Teja. Means who is Teja? Teja employee. Teja is the employee with second highest salary. So what is the meaning here? Innermost query is find maximum. Its outer query is finding maximum from the remaining. So means maximum from excluding the first. So that whatever is resulted is called the second maximum. Now its outer query is finding name of the employee whose salary is second highest, 60,000 in the output, right? This is the exact query. Look at, if you want, I can show you by executing this. Now, first inner query is selecting the maximum. Its outer query should select maximum from the remaining, right? Maximum from the remaining. So again, you can write max of salary. Right? Now this entire thing you put in a subquery. This entire thing you put in a subquery. Means this entire thing will become a subquery now. Now this entire thing is to be, sorry. So what is the first subquery finds? First subquery finds the maximum. What is the second subquery finds? Maximum from the remaining. So what is its outer query going to find? It is going to find select ename from employee where, here I'll write, where salary equaled, right? Now where salary equaled the remaining thing. What is there? Where salary equal, select max of salary from employee, where salary less than, select max of salary from employee. Now if we execute this entire query, look at, I executed the entire query. What output I should get? Teja, right? I'm getting Teja. That's it. So how you have written, you found the maximum in the innermost query. Its outer query is finding maximum from the remaining. The maximum from the remaining gives you the second maximum. Its outer query gives you employee name, whose salary is the second maximum. I'm getting the Teja. So this is how we have to find the ranking, means first employee, second employee. Then here you may be asking a question, sir, how do we find the third employee? How do you find the third employee? Means you have to nest one more time. This whole query you have to nest one more time, so that I can get the third maximum. Means first maximum, second maximum, third maximum. Likewise, you can find it. But if I wanted 10th one, so how many times you have to write how many times you have to write how many times you have to write nestings? Writing nestings will be 10 times it requires. So that what is the length of the query? Length of the query is going to be increased. So it becomes a huge. 10 times you cannot nest it. Suppose if I wanted to find the 100th query, 100th highest salary or 100th lowest salary. So will you write 100 times nestings? No. That's why in MySQL, Oracle it is not supporting. In MySQL, we have a SQL class called limit class. We have a class called limit. And I'm repeating, this limit is available in MySQL, not in the Oracle. So it is supported a limit class for giving the ranking. How to give a ranking? So here we will be using a limit class. Now let me write a few sentences about limit class. The limit class is used to in the select statement. For your notes, I'm writing clearly. You can copy this. The limit class is used in the select statement to constrain means to restrict the number of rows to return. The number of rows to return. Here we have a syntax of the limit class. The syntax of limit class is select whatever the columns you want to select. You can write select list of columns. It is from table names. It is from table names, and we have to use a limit class, and this limit class will give you offset and row count. So what is offset? Offset specifies the first row to return, and the offset of the first row is 0 and not 1. Here it requires to specify offset, comma, row count. Row count specifies how many rows to be specified. Here, what is offset? Offset specifies the offset of the first row to return. Offset specifies offset of the first row to return. And the row count specifies the maximum number of rows to be written. Maximum number of rows to return. Here, suppose this is a output. This output is having some rows. Row 1, row 2, first record, second record, row 3, row 4, and so on, assuming that case. And the offset of first row is 0. Offset of first row is 0. So means this is 0th row. It is first row. This is second, and this is third row, and so on. Suppose if I specify offset 2, if I specify offset value is 1. If I specify offset value is 1, means it is going to select the first row is the offset value 1. This row is going to be selected. And if I use a row count means how many rows to be returned. If I say row count is 2, offset is 1, row count is 2. Offset is 1, row count is 2 means offset is 1 is for row 2, and from there it has to return 2 rows in the output. Okay, this is a row count. And moreover, if you use the offset with only one argument is also possible. If you specify offset with only one argument, it is going to return that offset values to the end of the table. I mean, suppose if I specify only one argument, offset is 1. Then from first row, it has to display all the rows till to the end. If you don't mention the row count, that's why. So even you can mention even one, only one row is also possible. Now let me explain. Suppose if I wanted name of the employee with second highest salary. How to get name of the employee with second highest salary? We have to write a query to find employee name from employee table. So first we have to sort these employee records. How to sort that employee records? Using order by class. Using order by class. Order according to their salary. Now I wanted the highest salary, means second highest, third highest. Second highest, third highest, fourth highest, 10th highest means we have to sort these employee records according to their salary in descending order. In descending order. So in descending order means first 90,000, next 60, next 50, next 40, next 35 is going to be displayed according to this query. But what I wanted, if I sort it now, if I sort it, so how this is going to become? Look at. Okay, first let me show by sorting this table. let me show by sorting this table. Here I'm writing a query, select star from employee, order by salary, descending order. So we have to specify DES. If I execute this query, so how table is displayed? Table is displayed in descending order of salary. So the employee with highest salary is in the first row, and employee with second highest in the second row, third highest in the third row, fourth highest in the fourth row, fifth highest in the fifth row. Just I'll be copying this table. Now look at here. I want to copy that table, result of that table. Yeah, here this is going to be outputted. Now what I wanted to find the second highest salary. Second highest salary means, can anyone tell me what should be the offset? We have to use a limit class. So what we should write limit. I wanted second highest. Second highest means the first record will have offset 0. Second record will have offset 1. So means I wanted the employee with second highest salary. Second highest salary employee is there in the offset 1. So we have to specify offset 1. If you write only limit 1, then from the first record to the end, all records it is going to be displayed. But I wanted employee with only the second highest salary. Means only one record is to be displayed. Only one record is to be displayed means it has to mention the row count. What should be the row count? Only one row should be displayed. So means limit 1, 1 you specify. If you specify limit 1, 1, so that it is going to select a row starting from the offset 1 to how many rows it is displayed? Only one row is displayed. Means I can say it is the second highest employee name with second highest salary. Suppose if I wanted, can anyone tell me if I wanted 10th highest salary? Suppose if I wanted, so if 1, 1 you write means it is second highest salary. Second highest. Suppose if I wanted 10th highest. If I wanted 10th highest, what you should write? 10th highest. Can anyone tell me? What will you write for 10th highest? Limit 9, 1. Sorry, Narendra, 1, 9 is not correct. It is 9, 1. So means 10th highest will be there in the offset 9th. How many records I wanted to display? Only one. So what you have to write? 9, 1. Suppose if I write 100, 2. So which employees are going to be in the output? Which employees are going to be in the output? If I write limit 100, 2, which employees are going to be in the output? It is going to display the employees with 101th highest and 102nd highest. Why? Because this offset 1 for 101th employee, and from 101th employee it has to display how many rows? 2 rows. Means 101th and 102nd highest salary employees should be in the output. 101 and 102 highest salary employees should be in the output. Okay, and moreover this is considered to be very important concept for your placements. Very, very important. So almost all the students told me this question was asked for them in their interview. So in such cases, if they asked you in your interview, if the interviewer asked, you have to write this query and explain that. Because many times students told that they were asked this question, like find name of the employee with 100th highest salary, or find name of the customer with 100th highest purchase, and find name of the project name of the employee who worked for the second highest number of hours. Likewise, this kind of questions are given. This kind of questions were asked to many students in their interviews. This is a collective feedback from many students. So almost every student told that this question was asked to them in their interview. So hopefully it may be helpful for you also. So keep in mind, offset of first record is 0, not 1. Offset of first record is 1, not 2. Likewise, so means offset is going to be started from 0, 1, 2 and so on to n minus 1. So if offset n is given, offset values n is given, it is going to find n plus 1th record. If offset is n, if I am writing, if offset is n comma 1, so what it is going to find? It is going to find n plus 1th record. Okay, n plus 1, right? Are you getting mine? If I write n minus 1 comma 1, it is going to find the nth record. I hope you understood. Is it clear? And definitely it is helpful for your placements. And before going to your any interview, please have a look of it. Definitely it will be helpful. Any doubts? Vamshi, what do you want me to explain? So actually limit class is used to select the certain number of rows. And which rows? Interview question. Okay, interview question means like students told that they were asked an interview question. They were asked a question that write a query to find name of the employee with 10th highest salary. Some student told find name of the customer made 100th highest purchase amount or 100th lowest purchase amount, and find the name of the employee who is working who is working nth lowest number of hours. That n is given in the interview as 10, 20, 100, 1000, likewise. But whatever it may be the question, what you have to do, whatever it may be the question, what you have to do, you have to sort the query. You have to sort the records. After sorting the records, here you have to write this query. After sorting the records, just you have to add only the limit class. What is asking is important. Suppose he asked for the second highest. So you have to write 1, comma 1. Only one record I wanted, so 1 you write it. Suppose I wanted the first one. If I wanted the first one, what you can write? Offset 0 is the first record. Comma only one record to be displayed. So it is going to give you the first. Likewise, you decided which record you want in the output. Based on that, you have to specify offset and row count. Okay, is it clear, Vamshi? Any doubts? And moreover, limit class is not there. It is there in MySQL. It is there in MySQL, not there in Oracle. Observe that difference. Okay. And also limit class were there in the previous versions. In Oracle 11G, it is not there. Again, it is added in Oracle 12C. But you may not be asked it is in there in which versions and all. But simply you can say limit class is there in MySQL, and using limit class we can able to find the nth highest or nth lowest is possible. That you can say. Suppose if it is asked about lowest, then you can instead of sorting based on descending order, you can sort in ascending order. That could be sufficient. Okay, right. Anything else? No? Fine. Here I would like to discuss one more concept, that is called correlated subquery. Because limit class is not there in Oracle, so I didn't discuss. I haven't shown by execution of this. Next, I would like to explain one more concept called correlated subqueries. Now, what is correlated subquery? What is correlated subquery? Previously, we have discussed in subquery one in the outer query and one in the inner. We call inner query. So inner query and outer queries are executing simultaneous. Inner query and outer queries are executing in what way? First inner is executed and the result is given to outer. Based on the result of inner, outer query is giving the final output. But when it comes to the correlated subquery, the execution is starting from the outer. For each row of outer, inner query is going to be executed. After executing inner query will return some output. That output will be used by the outer query. It means execution of this correlated subquery start from outer. For each row of outer, inner query is going to be executed. And after returning some output of inner query, the outer query is going to be verified whether that tuple in the outer query is going to be considered for the output or not. Okay, so means execution is from outer to inner to outer to inner to outer. So we call it is top to bottom to top, right? Execution is top to bottom to top. This is an order of execution starting from outer, go into the inner, then again go into the outer. So the execution is going from outer to inner to outer execution. And here you observe on the result, and inner query is executing for every row of outer. Inner and outer queries are depending on each other and executing simultaneously. Because both are depending on each other, executing simultaneously, that is what you call correlatedly. That is what you call correlatedly. That's the name called correlated subquery. Now here, in simple definition, if I wanted to write what is correlated subquery, in which both in which inner query is executed once for each row of the inner query is executed once for each row of the outer query. For every row of the outer query, inner query is going to be executed only for one time, right? For every row. That is, inner and outer queries are depending on each other and executes simultaneously. That is, both inner and outer queries are depending on each other and execute simultaneously. That's the reason it is called correlated subquery. That is the reason it is called correlated subqueries. Look at, and suppose if I have a table of data like this, okay, this table of data only I would like to copy. So because these two tables are there with us, so I would like to use these two tables only. On this only, if I show and execute the query, then you feel comfortable. Okay. Oh, what happened? Sorry, listen to me. Yeah. Here, have a look. Suppose if I have a query, find name of the employee managing research department. Find name of the employee managing research department. So name of the employee is there in the employee table, right? And research department, name of the department is there in the managers table. Two tables we want in the output. So we have to decide which table to be in the outer query, which table to be in the inner query. Now look at what we want in the output, name of the employee in the output. So employee table should be in the outer query. And who is managing the research department? So department name should means managers table should be in the inner query. Okay. So means for each row of outer query, it requires to check every row of inner query for some conditions. Look at what I wanted. Select employee name in the output. It is from which table? Employee table. Where for each employee name, for each record in the employee, we have to check is that employee is managing some department. If managing some department, that department name should match with the research department. So means we have to find in the inner query, what you have to find, what department name, which department names that the employee is managing. If managing, which department is managed. Look at. So it requires to select department name from which table? Managers table. This one you have to check for each employee. So means how I can check this is the department managed by that particular employee. We have to check employee number with employee number. So 9 equal to 6 wrong, 9 equal to 9 true. 9 equal, this is null now. Comparison of null is always false. So means we have to check where employee E number equal to manager's E number. Employee dot E number equal to managers dot E number. So that for every employee, it is going to check the department name that the employees manage. So what you can write here, 9 equal to 6 false, 9 equal to 9 true, 9 equal to null false. So one department is selected, that is science department is selected. So what is selected? It is selecting D name science. This science should be the department. This is science, but what I wanted to check that employee who is managing the research department. So one thing what you have to do is we will write one condition. Just 1 minute. Let me move this. Where the research department, because I wanted research department is to be checked now. The research department value should be there in the list of departments managed by that employee. Look at. So Priya is managing which departments? In the inner query, what it is finding? For the first record, Priya, she is managing which departments? How I can check? By comparing the conditions. Employee E number equal to manager's number. 9 equal to 6 false, 9 equal to 9 is true. So that in the inner query, I'm going to get an output science. But research is there in the inner queries, science? No. Research is there in the list? No. So that this Priya is not in the output. So this query has to be verified. Means inner query means here this is a manager's table. Manager's table is to be verified for every row of outer query. What is outer query? Employee table. So means for every row of employee table, inner query is to be verified. First row not in the output. Again, second row it is to be verified. So every row it is to be verified right now. Now look at what is the E number of the second row? 2. It is going to be verified with every row of in the inner query. 2 equal to 6 false. 2 equal to 9 false. Null anyhow false. So inner query is returned anything. Inner query is returned nothing. Nothing means empty set it is returned for the second. But what outer query is checking? research should be there in the output output produced by the inner query. So, but output produced by the inner query is empty. So it is not in the output. It's process. This 3 equal 9 false. This is also false. So what is the output of the inner query for the third row? Empty. So that this is also false. Now similarly, it has to continue with the fourth row. 4 equaled 6 false, 4 equal to 9 false, 4 equal empty false. So false, false, false means it is going to return empty for this. Because it is returning empty, it is also false. Finally, 6. This is also to be compared with every row. Now 6 equal 6 true. 6 equal to 9 false, 6 equal to empty false. Now 6 equal to 6 false for this combination. So it is true. What department name it is returning? Research. But what we have to check, research department should be there in the list of departments managed by that employee. Now that employee Akhil is managing only research department. That research department is there in the list, and we are comparing the research. Yes, so that this is matching with Akhil. So that Akhil should be in the output. Akhil should be in the output. So what is the final output? E name Akhil is in the output. Now here you observe how query is executing. That understanding is important. How query is executing. The query is executing, the inner query is executing for every row of outer query. For the first row of outer query, inner query is tested. For the first row, inner query is tested and gives an output science. That science is compared with research because I wanted an employee who is managing the research department. So comparison is false. For the second row, output is empty. Condition false. Third row output is empty. Condition false. Fourth row output is empty. Condition false. And fifth row output is research. Condition is true. So that Akhil is in the output. So means for every row of the outer query, the inner query is going to be verified. And after verifying the inner query, it is giving some output. That output is going to be compared with outer query. Because condition is true for the outer query, now outer query is displaying the output. So how queries are executing? Both inner and outer queries are executing simultaneously. That's the name called correlated subquery. Okay. Is it understood the process? If understood the process, I will show you the execution. Look at. I will show you the execution. Please listen to me. Here I would like to show the execution. How did you write the query? How you have to write the query? You have to select ename from employee. I wanted to find name of the employee. Who's what we have to check that employee should, if employee is managing some departments, that name of the department should be equals to the research departments. Means it requires to verify the research department. It requires to verify that research department. This research department should be there in the list of departments managed by that employee in the outer query. So that in the inner query, what it requires to find, the inner query requires to find name of the departments. So we can call D name. Fine. This D name we have to select. D name we have to select from which table? From the managers table. Managers table. Where what is the condition? The condition should be employee dot e number equal to managers dot e number. So e number to be verified. And so inner query is finding the list of department names managed by that employee. That list of department names managed by employee in the inner query should have the research department. Means we have to check whether that employee is managing the research department or not. Now look at the execution of this query. Who is managing the research department? That is Akhil, na? Look at. Click on run. I'm getting the Akhil. How this was compared for every row of outer query, for each row of outer query, inner query is evaluated and executed simultaneously. That's why query is called correlated subquery, and both inner and outer queries are executing simultaneously and giving the required output. Okay, and moreover, you may ask your question, sir, how I can say this is a correlated subquery? How can I identify it is correlated, or how can I identify it is a nested query? So in previously also I have shown you this kind of queries only, nested correlated queries, nested queries. So one in the outer query, one in the inner query. But when it is a nested query, I shown that first inner query is completely executed. The result is given to outer query. But when it comes to the correlated subquery, I'm showing you inner query is executing for every row of outer query. For every row, outer query, inner is executed. This is called correlated query. But looking both are same. But how you can say, how will you identify whether it is correlated query or nested query? A simple identification mark. Employee is in the outer query. Managers is in the inner query. Whenever the outer query column, if you are using in the inner query, whenever outer query column you are using in the inner query, then we can say inner is depending on outer. If outer query column not used in the inner query, inner is independent. Inner is independent means it is nested query. When inner is dependent is called correlated query. This is only one identification mark. So here I am giving you this point as a note point. If whenever the reference of outer query, if whenever the reference of outer query used in the inner query, then the two queries, means inner and outer queries, then the two queries are said to be correlated. That's it. This is identification mark to identify whether the given query is correlated or not. That's it. Is it clear? Or if you have any doubt, if it is clear, then you can ask me. Sorry, if it is clear, then we'll continue with the questionnaires. If it is not clear, then you can please ask me what is your doubt. Clear, Vamshi? Okay, very good, Vamshi. Okay, clear is there for previous one. Is it clear? Hello, are you there? Okay, Narendra, done. Now I will show you some questions. Correlated query is also important. Questions were asked. Questions are asking in the interviews. Just we'll check it out. I'll give you one question to you. Okay, check out this question and answer the question quickly. I'll give you 1 minute of time, 2 minutes of time. First, you look at what type of query this is. This is a correlated subquery. How did you say it is correlated? So from customer C, orders O1 where, okay, from orders O1. Here look at O1 customer ID equal to C customer ID. C is a customer in the outer query. Now outer query reference using in the inner query. Whenever outer query reference is used in the inner query, both outer and inner is executing simultaneously. That is, for every row of outer query, inner query is going to be executed. That is the first one. And here, look at, it is having one more inner query, order O2, where O1 customer ID equal to O2 customer ID. O2 is in the inner query, O1 is in the outer query. O1 is in the outer query. So means again, this is a correlated subquery. Means here we do have three queries: query 1, query 2, query 3. Query 1 is up to this, and here it is using exists class now. Okay, exists I am going to discuss in the tomorrow session. Okay, that is exists. Okay, here because three correlations are there, for each tuple in the query 1, it requires to check every row of query 2, and for each row of query 2, it requires to check every row of query 3, and this query 3 output will be given to query 2, and the query 2 output will be given to query 1. So based on the output of query 2, query 1 should give the final output. This is a query, and actually this query is based on exists. I'm going to discuss what is exists class in the tomorrow session. Okay, we'll check it out. Do we solve? Okay, this is one more question. Will you try? Or else you take a snapshot of this. Here also you can see what type of query it is, what type of questions, correlated subquery. But here also it is having exists class. So what is exists class? I'm going to discuss in the tomorrow session because time is over. If using exists also we can write correlated subqueries. What is exists class? I'm going to discuss in the tomorrow session. After I discuss exists class, then we will discuss these two questions clearly. Okay, fine. But just I will give an idea of exists class. What is exists class? Exists class is used to verify whether the inner query containing some output. If inner query is containing some output, this is going to return true. If inner query not return any output, this is going to return false. Inner query not returns any output means output of inner query is empty. Then it is going to return false for the outer query. Okay. Now that is a exists class. So here it is also correlated subquery. But here we have two correlations only, query 1 and query 2. And query 1 is up to this, and query 2 is this one. It is correlated subquery. Why? Because in the from class you can see library L1, book B of the outer query, and in the inner query we have library L2. And look, L1 is table in the outer query. That outer query reference is used in the inner query. Whenever the outer query reference is used in the inner query, the two queries are going to be executed simultaneously. That is called correlated subqueries. Okay. If possible, based on this knowledge, if you can able to answer the question, please answer. I recommend you please take a snapshot of this. Based on this knowledge, if possible, you can try and give me an answer. If possible, try and give me an answer. So first it has to perform library join book B. Library and book B is going to be joined. Every combination of library and book B has to be verified. For each combination of library and book B, it has to be verified. Again, library register 2. This one. So again, this is a multiple combinations. Means for each row of query 1, inner query is going to be evaluated. And for each row, query 2 executes and gives an output. Right? Okay. I hope you have taken a screenshot of this, but anyhow, I'm going to discuss this one very clearly in the tomorrow session. But I suggest you please try if possible and let me know in advance. Fine. And if possible, you take even this screenshot also. And these are the very complex queries. It takes some time for you definitely. But I don't say it is much tough, but definitely it is a complex questions. But if you practice it, it will become very easy questions to you. Please try. Have you taken the screenshot of it? Done? Okay. Thank you. That's about today. See you tomorrow with some more concepts of query languages. I'm going to take exists class. Mostly tomorrow, tomorrow will be the last session for the Oracle. Tomorrow I'm going to take the concept of exists class. Then some of the important concepts also I'm going to discuss about Oracle, so that even any complex question is given in the interview, you can able to solve those complex questions in a simpler way. How? That I am going to discuss in the tomorrow. That is using with class. That is also one more concept that I am going to discuss. Fine. And then after that, I'm going to continue with transactions, concurrency, means how transactions are going to be executed in the database system. Then how recovery is going to be performed, means if some failure occurs, data may be lost. If data lost, how database system is going to recover from the failure, that I'm going to discuss. Finally, how efficiently we are going to retrieve data from the database using the indexing concepts. That all I'm going to discuss in the further classes. And mostly tomorrow tomorrow it will be considered as a last class for the Oracle. Fine. If more classes are given, I may take one more session where I'm going to explain the PLSQL programs, PLSQL cursors programs, triggers programs, means how active databases are going to be done. Generally, I will give you one example of active database. Generally, I'll be paying my home loan through ECS, means on every month on a particular date, my bank account is going to be debited with my home loan amount. How this is going to happen? I will not be initiating any transaction. I will not be initiating any transaction to debit my account with the home loan amount. And definitely there will be no person at the other end in the bank who is going to initiate it. This is going to happen automatically. This is going to happen automatically. How it is going to happen automatically means on a database, they are going to implement some trigger. This is called a trigger concept. They are going to implement a trigger. What the trigger is nothing but one program. The one program, database program is going to be written. What the database program do is that database program is going to wait for an event. Here in my example, the event is that particular date to occur. As soon as a particular date occurs, that program is going to be triggered. Triggered means that program is going to be executed automatically. So in that program, it is written a queries such that my account is going to be debited with the loan amount, and the loan account is going to be credited with the debited amount. That program is going to be written. Means this is going to be executed automatically. It is going to be executed automatically. That is called active database. That is called a trigger program. How you have to write the trigger programs also we'll discuss if you people are given more classes. So far I don't have any information. If more classes are given, we will discuss that. Otherwise, only SQL part we will discuss. If more classes are given, we will discuss PLSQL concepts also. Okay, that's about today's session. Thank you. Good day, and see you tomorrow. Thank you.